Before we begin today, I want to ask you something. What if you stop achieving your way to peace and just let yourself be held by nature, by the earth, by existence, and the knowing that already exists within you? And what if the answer is not in the achieving, doing, but in the surrender? Hold that question, we'll come back to it. Hello and welcome to another Soul Sunday. People are dropping in. Wonderful to see all of you. And welcome to anyone who's new here. An important reminder, uh, whatever we say, check in with your inner knowing what feels true for you. And you can have your camera on. You will not appear on the recording unless you turn on your microphone if you ask a question. Then you will appear on YouTube later. And if you want to have it off, you can always ask your questions or comments in the Zoom chat or on Facebook. If we don't answer right away, we do that later. And last week, we explored soul's calling versus ego's expectations. I shared a story how I thought I was moving to Stockholm and I ended up in Westport, Connecticut. And when I saw that job, I just knew. There was absolutely no doubt, and I started to understand the difference between soul's calling and ego's expectations. It's not that I'm done learning. This was 30 years ago, and new experiences have come and go. But it was definitely a defining moment. The ego wanted to go to Stockholm. My soul said Connecticut, and I didn't even know why yet. And it's still tricky to pronounce that state just north of New York. The Hills message last week was that if we're brave, we can listen deeper. The bravest trust the whisper of their hearts and take the risk to fail in order to learn. And you feel the difference in the frequency, how satisfied and fulfilled you are, how free you feel inside, no matter what. And the louder the ego screams, the more you know it's just frustration or projections. And the more you have to listen inward. It's easy to say, perhaps, but when you truly feel the voice of your soul and act on it, there's a deep peace and even bliss, even if fear shows up in the transition. And things just fall into place because it happens from a state of surrender. And it's a reflection of how ready you are on the inside. That when things fall into place, when you are in place, in coherence. You can watch the full episode on my YouTube channel. There's going to be a link in chat or description. And today it's a bit of continuing of the surrender topic, just in another way. Because when things fall into place, when you're in coherence and everything is happy and wonderful, when you surrender to your soul's knowing, the question is, what happens when you don't know how? And what happens when you know what you want, but you can't see the path? And when the ego starts screaming, you need to achieve or do this now, or you're gonna die or fail, or it feels like dying in a way, because that's how loud the ego is, especially when it's tied to a childhood trauma or something in the past. So today we're exploring why achieving is a trap and what being, knowing, and doing from a state of surrender actually might look like or feel like. And I have lived this many times. And here is actually a story from back in the days. It was in 96, I believe. when I was out and down in the Wild West and ended up in a suicide cult in Los Angeles. So I was there for 3 months. I got kidnapped, basically. I was only 25 or something, yeah, in San Francisco, and I ended up in with this group of people. It looked li nice and like I had a lot to get from it. But the more I was there, I realized, oh my God, uh, where's this taking me? And this was the Moonies, and I didn't know it when I got hooked up, sort of. And I had been there for 3 months or so, and I was in Los Angeles in a sort of monastery, and I had absolutely no money. I was completely dependent on them, and I didn't know what to do, actually. Either just completely get even more caught up with this cult, which I didn't call cult because we were completely brainwashed morning to night, 24 hours a day almost. And but I felt something inside of me. Oh, I'm not sure about this. And my leader, he gave me two options. Either I sign a contract to go fundraising for 3 years so that I could experience God or whatever, and completely being in service to this organization. Or I could sign a contract to work in a fishing factory in Alaska. And I was like, I can even feel the fear right now. And it was like there was no third option. And I had learned afterwards that when some people, parents for instance, or friends try to get their children back or relatives from this organization, they got in trouble. And some of the people who were in this organization actually committed suicide because the programming was so strong. But I didn't know that, thank God. Maybe that saved me. And my leader told me, okay, how about this? You pray to God 3 times a day for, I don't remember, 3 weeks perhaps, and he will tell you what to do. Okay, okay. I didn't have much option, so that's what I did. The very last night, when I was going to give an answer to my leader, what I wanted to do, I got this very, very strong message that I had to call my sort of au pair family in Connecticut, in Westport. And they were in trouble, and they needed my presence right away. And she said, we're going to send you money and an air ticket. We need you now. It's actually quite urgent. And I went and told my leader, and he couldn't say anything because he gave me the task to go and find out what to do. At that moment, I thought, okay, but I'm gonna send all the money to the organization and come back later. That's how screwed up I was. They tried to hold me back, but they couldn't do anything about it. And I heard afterwards they had the police kind of looking into it, having an eye on them. So they actually let me go. I got the money, I got an air ticket, and off I went. And actually, they were out in Illinois. And the rest is a history of us driving back to Westport. It's a long story. In short, that was a moment of deep, deep trust. There was nothing else I could do. in my state at that moment because I couldn't call my family in Sweden. Uh, I didn't know what else to do. And the answer came very strongly. So that's how it can look. It doesn't have to be this dramatic for you. Uh, and maybe I have this experience so that I can teach others to do it in a perhaps more integrated way. And now, well, always in my life, I also used nature to help me to reconnect to my inner truth when I couldn't feel it somewhere else, when I felt lost or just couldn't figure anything out, which has happened quite a bit in my life. It's been a rocky road, and every time nature has called on me, or I call on nature, it's been a place where I can come back to coherence. And it's funny because this was a topic the other day in the 21 days of the wisdom of your soul that we're hosting right now with a group of wonderful people. And there was this assignment, sort of, to go out in nature and just listen to a tree, connect with a stone, or whatever calls to you. And it was a good timing because I was a bit tired and felt a bit off that morning. And I went to a lake where we used to go in the forest, a very nice place. And there is this huge stone on a cliff with moss on it, and it makes up a perfect chair to just sit there. So I had a cup of tea, and the transmission, it was so in line with what came from the hill the same morning. So I just started to communicating with the stone and just thanked it for being there so that I could just be there. It was offering me a place to just be. And this was about 6 a.m. in the morning, and the sun was coming up over the treetops, very peaceful. And I felt this communication from this stone in my body, and it told me, yeah, you just sit here. There's no need to do anything else. Just feel the love that I have for you. And I know you love me, or you wouldn't be here feeling safe. And there is no need to be anything or anyone else but you. And I felt this peace coming over me, and my nervous system just completely relaxed. And suddenly, I didn't have any problems anymore. Whatever I thought was huge was like, okay, it will work out. No worries. So, nature for me is a huge healer. And when we connect with it, we are the conduit that makes it happen. We let it transmit its wonderful energy. It's always there, reflecting in wherever we are and whatever we're experiencing. So when I was sitting there, um, transition today again, I got this reminder this morning from another transmission in our 21 days journey. Um, I again felt a bit fragmented. Maybe it's the sign of the times right now. And it's okay. We all go in and out of it once in a while. The message from the hill landed deeply. And it was about struggle and achieving our way to what we want or what we want to achieve. So this is something that we're now exploring deeper. So here is the transmission from this morning. Just a second. It's been a long day already. I woke up at 2 a.m. I didn't know why, but I did some qigong and other things. That happens once in a while when you're communicating with spirits all over the place. So it's a good thing I can take naps whenever I want in my workday. Right, back to the hill. Uh, Achieving is a trap. Being, knowing, and doing are something else. Achieving is pushing, usually from a state of lack or fear. It doesn't mean you should be completely passive or apathetic, but existence asks you that you can rest in knowing that you're here and that you do what is aligned from a state of being, from that state of being. To know, to be, and do from a state of surrender and abundance is different from wanting, acting, and performing from a state of lack, tension, fear. And here's the tricky part. You know that a house is going to be built because that's what you felt is in alignment. And you will need to use your thinking, words, and doing, and some money. Perhaps using your muscles if you're physically involved. You might have to sweat and carry a lot of lumber, but there's this knowing that it's a part of making it happen. To physically manifest the house that you know already exists, either by hiring people to build it or by doing it yourself or with some friends. Being, knowing, doing from a relaxed state because you know. And when you don't feel connected, don't have access to the knowing, then let go instead. Instead of forcing the knowing to appear, it won't reveal itself because you're tense. And when you're tense, you're closed off. So, in that case, it's better to tense all your muscles and your thinking as much as you can, and then relax. Relax, let go, and there is an opening to receive, the knowing that is already there waiting for you. We love and honor you, your friends in eternity. How was that for you? Anything that landed? Would love to hear your thoughts. And if anyone is new here, The Hill is a collective of real people, nonverbal autistic friends that I've been working with for 9 years, and we meet at another dimension because they cannot verbally say or share everything that they want to share. So we have developed another way of communicating. Achieving is a trap when it comes from lack, from pushing, from the ego screaming, you're not enough until you get this. So, being, knowing, doing from a state of surrender is different. And the house already exists, or whatever you want. You're physically manifesting what's already there in the field because it's all energy. And sometimes it feels like, what? How? You can still make a phone call, you can still carry the lumber, you can still do things in alignment. And when you don't have access to the knowing, let go, let go, let go, do something else, or have a really good workout. That helps me once in a while, or go out in nature. So, how about we have a little surrender meditation on this topic so that you can perhaps feel it in another way and not just intellectually. And this is not prepared, and I will ask my friends to be a part of this, and my inner knowing, of course. So please balance, harmonize, align, purify, and cleanse, and create a safe space for everyone who's watching or listening to this, either live or on the recording. And we invite you to the remembrance field between Arcturus and Lemuria, a place where you can just be. Let go of whatever is going on in your life. And feel your body, your feet, and know that in the stillness of it all, you're fine. And we invite you to stop breathing and tense every muscle in your body. Just tense up really as much as you can without overdoing it, of course. You will know your boundaries, but keep tense your muscle. And let go. Just let go and breathe and feel your feet and feel your body. This wonderful physical temple for your soul that your soul is hosting. So that it's not in the way for you. It is with you. And again, we invite you to tense up all of your muscles in your whole body and hold it, hold it, hold it, and let go and breathe out. Just shake loose a bit where you're, either if you're lying or sitting up. And check in with yourself if you can feel a difference. And breathe, and let the breathing connect you deeply with the Mother Earth, with nature. Earth that you came from in this physical form, that your soul lightened up. Make a living thing, an instrument. Connect deeply to the earth. Even deeper to the center of the earth. And perhaps you can feel there's a pulse. Maybe you can feel a tingling sensation in your feet. And she's there with all of her love and care. And when you tense up and let go, she's there to catch you. Always. And if you like, you can imagine that you're sitting by a lake, by a tree, or just lying in the grass. And let nature hold you. Spirit is all around you and within you, or you wouldn't be alive. You are alive because of spirit and matter, heaven and earth, right inside of you. And breathe and feel how nature is there and how spirit is supporting you. You can put a hand on your belly and your heart if that feels good for you. And feel how you connect heaven and earth right inside of you, lightening up your soul. And open up to receive the knowing that is already there. There is an answer to what you want to achieve. And you can let go of that because you don't have to. Let go and allow the eternal wisdom, the knowing in your body, in your soul, in your heart. And breathe and relax. Maybe you can hear inside of you the wind in the trees, or a bird. Or maybe you can hear water from a brook nearby. Or the waves of the ocean. Just breathe and be with this place that you have chosen. And feel how you relax even more inside of you. Just allow. Let the love and wisdom of heaven and earth flow through you. You can come back to this meditation later if you want to. For now, it's time to come back to this transmission. So wiggle your toes, stretch your body, do whatever you feel like. Or by all means, if you want to fall asleep and watch the recording instead later, you can do that. It has happened before. And if you're willing to come back to this call, you're welcome. So we're gonna end this meditation for this time. So, how was this for you? And share if you experienced something either now or later. And if you like this meditation, there are more on my website. There's a link in comment or description. It's a free one on YouTube on my channel. So, you remember the question I asked in the beginning? What if you stop trying to achieve your way to peace and just let yourself be held by nature, by the earth, by the knowing that already exists within you? And here is what I learned, that the ego will always want to achieve, push, force, control. The soul already knows. And when you let go, when you relax, when you sit on a stone by a lake or by a tree and let nature just hold you, that's when the knowing comes. Not from achieving, but from being. So I will ask you, what are you trying to achieve right now that might actually require surrender instead? And when was the last time you let nature hold you? Often it is the expectation within us that creates tension, the fear of not achieving enough, of not being enough. When we begin to releasing the idea of it, then the thought of it, and finally the feeling connected to it, we gently move ourselves into the stillness that lives in surrender, letting go of the belief that there is tension at all. Right now and every time, the freedom within us is always there. Remember this and breathe. Beautiful. Yeah, very true. And I hope this landed well for you. I sure got a lot of out of the transmission for today. I am Elof. I'm a soul guide for heart-centered leadership. And in simple words, I help people clear the noise around them, things from the past, generational trauma, old patterns that aren't yours, and guide you back to your soul so that you can lead yourself from there. With soul retrieval, energy balancing, free whole system, and clearing limiting beliefs from your subconscious mind in awake state in real time while being awake. And it can be done online. And if you're curious about this, you can always book a clarity call. You can read more on my website with reviews if this resonates. And these transmissions were brought to you by me, our friends on the Swedish Hill, and many other unseen and powerful beings. And last but not least, my darling co-host Yvonne, holding ground for us all. This space is free and will always be. If you want to support this channel, please consider a donation. There's a link for that as well. Thank you so much for today, and remember that you are a bright shining star and a miracle, and you're here, and you're a light of eternal potential. So let your divine light shine. Take care. Hope to see you next week or sooner. Thank you.